topping us off.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Four Lads Rangers Monday Night Live. So much to discuss. Aberdeen beaten again, which was joyful. Skooshgate2, Jim Gillespie is here. We've made some signings, and there's loads more exciting rumours. What a time to be alive. Kenny, good evening, mate. How are you?
I'm good, mate. Yep, had a nice weekend. Enjoyed the show on Friday night, and looking forward to this. Makes a pleasant change to be on this wee win and run.
Yeah, look, life is just better when Rangers win. And it makes it a lot more exciting. And who else? I mean, honestly, folks, I said a couple of weeks ago he'd be like Santa Claus on Prozac. Amrit must be out his tits on happiness. I'm not even sure how he's going to open this. But Amrit, good evening, mate. How are you?
I am absolutely ecstatic, Stevie. It's such a good time to be a Rangers fan. Things are brilliant right now. A lot of positivity around the club and in the fan base, which is wonderful to see. We felt that on Friday night at the fan takeover, and just really, really good vibes right now. So let's get into this. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, let's absolutely do it. Amrit, your thoughts on yesterday's performance up at Pittodrie, please, mate. We done the post match last night, so I'll keep my thoughts to myself. You can watch it back. Why wouldn't you? It was a magnificent show because I was on it. And with the two Andys, and we had a good talk about that. Amrit, what did you think of our win at Pittodrie?
I think, first of all, it's a tough place to go, and we all recognise that. And given the weather there yesterday made it even more difficult and challenging. Sideways winds, rain, it was cold, under the lights, a Sunday afternoon. Given the fact that our rivals have both won, Celtic convincingly the day before, Hearts just moments before we kicked off. So a lot of pressure on that game, not just because it's Aberdeen and where it was, but because it was over to us. It was then on us to prove that we could continually accept the challenge when our rivals lay down the gauntlet and say, okay, over to you, Rangers. Do you have the capability, the capacity, the courage to go ahead and beat Aberdeen away from home on a Sunday when we've already won? And the answer was yes, we absolutely do. We can win, we will win, and we must win. And that's exactly what they did. And I've always criticised the team when I felt they've deserved criticism. So by the same token, it's only right and fair that they should be congratulated when they've played well. And they've done fantastically well, not just yesterday, but for the last 7-8 games, Stevie, in that little cluster of games that we've had over the last number of weeks. I think they've done brilliantly to a man, all of them. Not easy to go there without Barron, without Dujon. I would say arguably, if you include Jack Butland in that, that's 3 of our most consistent players over the last couple of weeks, certainly the last 4 weeks, I would say. So to go there without Duj and without Barron and still get the job done, and for replacements to come in and perform and fill the gap, I think gives Danny Rohl confidence that if I lose players, there's guys there that are champing at the bit and waiting to pull the jersey on and show us what they can do. So that's really good that we've got that competition for spaces and that people are performing at the highest level. And I'm really, really proud of them, Stevie. I truly am. A very professional, solid, mature performance. And I think when we look back at the end of the season, and hopefully we're looking back with a big smile on our face, it'll be these type of games, Stevie, for me, that will make the difference. These really tough, gritty matches where you've just got to grind it out. And that's what we did. And I think we were very professional and we looked like a side that was always in control. I never thought for a moment that we would lose yesterday. We always looked like we were in control of the game, and that's really refreshing. And it's been a long time since I've been able to say that about our Rangers team.
Yeah, completely true. Kenny, your thoughts on yesterday's win at Pittodrie?
Delighted to go up there and get the 3 points. It was like the silence of alarms, actually. That's a poor Aberdeen side, taking nothing away from Rangers. We had to go there and
it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, but it was. We had to be as professional as we could be. And during the game, the conditions were horrendous. You could see when they were trying to take corners and stuff like that. The wind and the just the weather in general, absolutely horrific. But they've turned up, they've got the ball on the deck, they've been capable of playing long when they had to, winning second balls. But what I've taken out of the last week or so, more than anything else, is you can, without a doubt, see the confidence, the team spirit, the togetherness, the connection they've got with the supporters. I don't know if you noticed that at the end of the game, that the players were absolutely buzzing to get up and celebrate with the away support. And I've got to say, I am surprised at where we are. It's nearly there. It's still a little bit not quite right, the voice, but look, it's just one of these things that I look at and think, you know, any Rangers team having to go up with Pittodrie, you're going to get a difficult game. It's always going to be even more difficult when it's a back-to-back, a double header. They don't like us. We can see that. We'll come on to discuss it with all the coins and the missiles and the cups and everything else. So they're trying to make it as intimidating as possible, and it didn't work. So as I say, I'll end it with, it was very much a silence in alarms, and I'm delighted to put them back in their box a little bit because I don't like them very much.
Yeah, they're a very unlikable fan base. They seem to think we're our rivals. Their rivals really are Cove Rangers, not Glasgow Rangers. But it's always nice to put them back in their little box with 6 points this week. Kenny, I think that was as dominant as the second half we've been in a long time. It maybe doesn't feel like it at the time. But when we went to Parkhead, Celtic still had chances in that second half. Aberdeen didn't have a sniff. And we, you know, when you look at Raskin's header opportunity, Big Chermiti, who again I thought was excellent, went through. We had efforts from a couple from Moore before we got that second, and we thoroughly deserved it. In terms of a second half performance, Aberdeen didn't have a shot until the 86th minute when the boy Keskinen kind of hit it at Butland. That was as good yesterday as I've seen us in a very long time. Yes, Aberdeen are shite, and it's absolutely brilliant that they are because we don't like them very much. But Rangers still have to turn up. All credit to Rangers because I genuinely thought they were terrific. And that's a really professional win for me. I'm not going to say it's a statement win because statement wins are when we're top of the league and stuff like that. And if this team keeps going the way it is, that will happen soon, which is remarkable to say. But that was an absolutely brilliant performance yesterday. Second half, particularly. Rangers could have had more. That could have been a 3-4-0 job and we couldn't complain at all. So there's lots of positives there for Rangers. But the professionalism in that conditions and the way they did it, just full marks for me. And I said yesterday on the pod, and I do agree with this, even now, that was a performance level throughout the team where everybody was minimum 7 out of 10s. There maybe wasn't 8 or 9s or a lot like that, but when you hit a performance like that where everyone hits the same level and everyone does so well, you get results and performances like yesterday. I genuinely thought they were terrific. All power to them.
What a job Danny Rohl's doing. Honestly, you go in, it's quite a, I wouldn't say it was an even first half. I thought we were the better team in the first half. I think we should be getting 2-0 up, in my opinion. And I know people will maybe discuss the Manny Fernandez goal, but for me, that should stand. And I know there's debate about the rule and why it's been chalked off. For me, Mitov is getting into Manny Fernandez's space. It's not the other way about. He's the one that's connected with the striker. But if you look at the first half and then compare it to the second half, boy like Mikey Moore, who came up, there was it came up on the screen that he had 10 touches at one point. It was the lowest touches in the pitch. And then he comes on to a game in the second half. I thought he played really pretty well in the second half. Tello Asgard, who has been a conversation on here many a time about what do we do with him. And I thought he had a terrific game. Probably his best game for me in a Rangers shirt yesterday. I thought he was absolutely excellent. He was my man of the match yesterday. I thought he just imposed his game right over the top of Aberdeen. We created, there's a narrative being created that we don't create enough from open play. I thought we created quite a few from open play yesterday in the second half. And you can just tell the confidence is beginning to ooze out of them a little bit. And they're enjoying playing together. They're enjoying playing under Danny Rohl. And they're enjoying playing in front of our fans. for the first time since most of them have turned up here. And to go up there with everything surrounding the game, as I say, we've already discussed everything about the game, but to go up there and dominate them for 45 minutes like that in the second half, if we'd won that, I mean, you're saying 3 or 4, if we'd won that 4 or 5-0, they couldn't have complained, Stevie. There was a gulf between those two sides. And I've seen Rangers teams, better Rangers teams than this, go up there against inferior Aberdeen sides to this and struggle, put it that way. But look, I've only got nothing for praise for this Rangers team and everybody connected with it at the minute. I think they're on their own. Long may it continue. That's what I would say, mate.
Right, Chris. Why is my light so low? The reason my light is so low is because people were saying it was shining off my old dome heat. So I decided to change it because somebody said I looked like a cue ball, which hurt me. Somebody said a couple of weeks ago as well, because I was wearing my Canada Goose jacket, I was a victim. And honestly, I get all sorts of criticism, as everybody well knows, on the internet, but these hurt. So I changed it. So I think this is better like this. And now people are saying it's not. So I don't know what to do. What can you do? Amrit, that second half yesterday, Manny Fernandez, want your opinion on that goal, please. But as well as an overall Rangers performance is probably as good as you're going to get up at Pittodrie. Very controlled. Yes, Aberdeen are a poor side, but that shouldn't take away from Rangers doing the job that they did. What's your thoughts on Fernandez? Any individual performances really stand out for you? Who impressed you? I'm keen to know.
Stevie, don't take it personally about this cue ball thing. People have called me a Malteser head in the past, so you know it doesn't get any worse than that. Which, by the way, I think is pretty funny, to be fair. So
I can't believe the level of bullying we sustain, man. It's not fair.
But it's observational humour, Stevie, and I think that's good. So I like that. But right, so Fernandez, for me, I'll be honest with you, Stevie. See when Tav punted the ball forward, I said what every Rangers fan has said at least once in their lifetime, and that is for sake, Tav. That's the first thing I said when the ball was in the air, and then Big Manny jumps up and nods it in, and I just thought, oh, you look a bit fucking stupid now, Amrit, don't you? But listen, really, really good. It was well worked. He's punted it up. He's lofted it. A lot of airtime, playing towards the strengths of the fact that you have this guy that's an absolute monster, 6'4", strong, broad, just gets stuck right in. For me, Manny Fernandez is commanding that area. He's got his eyes on the ball the whole way. He doesn't take his eyes off the ball for a moment. He's jumped. He's commanding the area. He's got that presence. The fact that he has his arms up, to be penalised for that, in my view, putting your arms up is part of the physics of being able to jump. You can't jump without your hands up. And the keeper's always second best because the keeper was nowhere near that ball. He was late. He wasn't out early enough. Manny Fernandez is already committed. His arms are already up. And the keeper's actually tried to encroach on Manny Fernandez. And then because his arm's been knocked, he gets the protection from the referees, which is absolutely ridiculous in my mind. It's getting really farcical now because there's nothing else that Manny can do other than put his hands up. So it's just ridiculous, Stevie. It's soft. It's weak. They had a chance to overturn it on VAR if they wanted to when he went to the screen and they didn't. But it's just a lazy narrative with these guys, isn't it? Oh, you know, protect the goalkeepers. It's just a load of nonsense as far as I'm concerned. But listen, I suppose the encouraging thing that came from that, Stevie, in my opinion, is that in matches gone by and years gone by, perhaps we would have been demoralised and discouraged by something like that happening to the team. But it almost seemed to encourage us and spur us on to do more, to create more, to try more. And it gave us a little bit of confidence, I think. Oh, you know, the ball's in the net again, we'll do it again. We have that self-belief now that we can create and that we'll get another opportunity. So, you know, fair play to them. They just kept grinding away. They were very professional. They were great. Every single man on that park played well yesterday. Okay, Fernandez gave the ball away early doors. Really silly, ran into trouble. But these things happen. But there seems to be a real cohesion, a unity a great spirit and connection between the players right now, Stevie, and you can see that from the way that Raskin reacted to what happened to Butland at the end. And I don't want to get into that right now, but we can probably talk about that a little later on. But there does seem to be a real sort of connection between these players, and you can see that on the pitch. And it's great to see that they're all loving playing for each other. They're loving playing in front of our fans. Credit to all the fans that took the trip up to Pittodrie yesterday and braved the weather. Good on them. My pal Mo was there, and he texted me today and said, make sure you give me a shout out, Amrit. I was up there in the cold weather. So Mo, well done. And he also gave me this cup. He knows I like Pepsi Max, so he gifted me this for my Christmas. So thank you, Mo. That's 2 shout outs you've had now. That's you till the end of the season. But yeah, I'm really, really proud of them, Stevie, because all of them just performed so well. And Chermiti, I mean, the guy is playing like someone that we've not seen before. He's got the confidence. He's strong. He's big. He's taking the ball down. He's bringing other players into play. He's just so powerful and strong and seems to be playing with all this confidence. And I'm really, really encouraged by what the team are doing right now. And like Kenny mentioned, Asgard, I mean, I was one of his biggest critics, and he was labelled the Alsatian by me. And I take that back, Thello, if you're watching. I'm glad you proved me wrong, son. Keep it up, because he performed very, very well yesterday as well. And I think all of them, Stevie, are to be commended for their performance, not only yesterday, but over the course of the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, I love it, Amrit. Thank you to Chris Gibson, who's gifted 24 Lads for the Dream Rangers podcast memberships. Thank you. That'll take us well over 700 members. We're doing absolutely brilliant, and we couldn't do it without you. So thank you very much. Kenny, I want to talk about Scott Fry. Not so long ago, when Rangers got a corner, we used to sarcastically sit in the gantry and go, oh, good, here's a corner. Wonder what's going to happen. Now it's we've got a corner, and we might actually score. And the thing about it was, it suddenly, I realised myself, I caught myself doing it when Diamandi had his shot after 9-10 minutes, and the goalie actually decently saved it, and it went out for a corner. I was like, we've got a corner. And it was like, we could actually do something here. And again, it's that same old move. I don't know why teams aren't clicking onto this, but it goes short, and it goes Mighoma tab, back to Mighoma. He makes a room. It's a lovely run by the defenders because they clear that space. And then Asgard comes round, and fair play to Big Tello. I'm still yet to be convinced. I think he's a good player. Is he in the right areas? I'm not sure. He certainly was for that goal. But Scott Fry, we look a threat every single time. Our players look good. And not only that, we're actually defending them well as well. I've gone to talk about, I talked about it last night, but I thought Fernandez defensively last night was very good. I thought Suter was fantastic. I would go as far as to say as John is shutting me up, certainly, because I criticised him before he got injured. He's come back slimmer. He looks better. An excellent block after 7 minutes. Then he goes and tells Manny, don't dribble out like that again. But defensively, very, very good. But Scott Fry, it zoomed in on him yesterday and he was sitting. He must be thinking, I'm fucking magic at this. Because he done it at his last club and he's came to Rangers, and the difference now is incredible. And we're actually a very potent threat now from set pieces, and it's brilliant. Honestly, I'm loving it. It used to be penalty to Rangers, now it's corner to Rangers, and I think that speaks testament. What a job he's done.
He's sitting in that dugout like a Cheshire cat, and he must be sitting thinking, I'm the dog's bollocks, look at me. He must be, because listen, it takes, we're all Rangers fans listening to this, obviously, right? And you're talking, but how shit have our set pieces been for years? They've been rotten for years, Stevie. And we have sat and complained, James Tavernier sauntering over to take a corner. It takes him 30 seconds, 40 seconds to go to the corner flag. Everything's rapid. It's all rapid all of a sudden. And the movement and the discussions amongst them. I mean, Nico Raskin mentioned it midweek when he scored, and he said all the credit goes to Tav, because Tav had clocked that the way they'd set up was slightly differently. He says, so go make your run to the front post, you'll get there. But this is what I'm trying to say, that all of a sudden we are equal top goal scorers from set pieces in the league now. And we I suppose you could turn around and say that of late, the last couple of years, we haven't been a team that's particularly tall, and all of a sudden we've got 4 or 5 bigger lads in the team, and that's helping. But I mean, the guy's been here, 6-7 weeks or something like that, and all of a sudden you can see the fruits of his labour. Look, every single game. I mean, there's if you look at the opportunities, as you said, Nico Raskin should score with one. He doesn't connect properly. Manny Fernandez had another one he should have scored with. The delivery is perfect, and credit to the players for getting the delivery right and making the correct runs. But it's the guidance they've obviously got for Scott Fry. Yeah, as I say, he's like a Cheshire cat, and I'm exactly the same as you. Every time we get a corner kick at the minute, and even a free kick, you're like, oh, what's going to happen? Because we have got an opportunity, and we now know that we have opportunities in that penalty box, that if you get the right delivery in, there's a fair chance that one of our players is going to get on the end of it. And if you can get a good connection, you've got a great chance of getting in. So congratulations, Scott Fry, and no wonder you're sitting there, like, as I say, with the cheesiest of cheesers sitting there. It's absolutely brilliant, because every time we pants him, he's just smiling. So he knows it's working off. You know, it's paying off for him, and I'm delighted, because it's such an asset now, Stevie, because if you think back to 20, 30 years ago, it was the people would look down their nose at teams scoring for set pieces. Now with Arsenal, and clubs like that, using the set piece specialist, and the amount of goals they're scoring from, it's actually quite in vogue at this minute in time. So it's good to see us getting the front foot, and there's no coincidence when you look at it, Stevie, that the two teams that are scoring most for set pieces are the two teams in the league that have got set piece coaches, specialists. So plenty more to come, please, Scott, and absolutely buzzing for the guy, because what a start to his career up here, because with all respect to Lincoln City, that's where he's coming from. So this is different gravy up here in terms of the size of the club and the job that he's got on. So I'm absolutely delighted for him.
I mean, it's actually quite exciting now when the old Gers get a corner or a set piece. But I wanted to talk to you about somebody. I wanted to talk to you about Manny Fernandez. And you can talk a wee bit about the set pieces and that. Manny Fernandez looked as rough as he come, and he still has flaws in his game. He gets caught out by the long ball. I think positionally he needs work on. This boy can defend. This boy can put his body on the line. He knows where he's got a natural knack of being in the right position. He's got a good coach next to him in Suter. Dare I say it? A partnership is starting to be formed there. As Kenny said a couple of weeks ago, I would rather play Fernandez and Giga because he's our own, and I wasn't sure at the time. Manny Fernandez really starting to impress me, and he's starting to become a big, lovable character, one that I really am starting to gravitate towards. And by the way, he's a young kid. When he came here, he looked rough, he looked unpolished. It was like, what the hell have we spent this money on? He's starting to settle in. He's starting to show his worth. Is he perfect? No. We need to polish him. I think that's absolutely clear. He does wander at times. He does need to be quicker on the ball at times. But this is a learning curve for him. And I think he's taken on the challenge really, really well. Somebody else that I need to give a lot of credit for, that I had given criticism to, is Jaden McComa. He's turned into a regular 6, 7 out of 10 every single game. And I think that these boys, considering how young they are, considering the pressure they were under, considering the criticism, Amrit, we can be really giving these boys a lot of plaudits, because they deserve it.
Yeah, I would agree wholeheartedly, Stevie. I think Manny Fernandez was never bought as the finished article. I mean, I don't think we ever thought that we were buying someone that was the complete defender. We knew that he had areas of his game that needed improvement and needed attention and coaching. And I think you make a good point about having somebody like Suter beside him to talk him through the game, to give him the benefit of his experience and keep him right, is a real asset. And Manny Fernandez, I've said it before, he has all the raw materials, all the building blocks necessary for him to be a success, for him to be a successful Rangers defender for many years to come. And if he keeps improving the way he is, Stevie, then he'll be a real asset to Rangers. And I think we'll struggle to keep him if he keeps on improving the way he is. I'm really impressed with his attitude, Stevie. He wants to win the ball in our box, and he wants to win the ball in the opposition box. He's a big, strong character, very professional. We listened to him at the post-match presser against St Mirren, and I thought he came across very well, mature beyond his years, and he's playing with a real sense of confidence as well. Yes, absolutely, I agree with you. There are sometimes his decision-making is poor. He wants a little bit too long on the ball. Sometimes he looks overly casual or just a little bit distracted, but I think that will come in time. But as far as I'm concerned, Manny Fernandez has all the attributes that we would like to see in a Rangers defender. And as far as Magoma is concerned, yes, he's not our player, but he has been available, Stevie. He's never been injured. He's there every single week. He's shouldering a huge responsibility by being our first choice left back. He's never shied away from his responsibilities. Yes, he's had some poor games. Yes, he gets caught out occasionally, but he's always there and he's always trying his best. And I think he's done brilliantly for a young lad, because nobody at 19 years old should have to burden the responsibility of being our first choice left back. That's our shortcoming through our recruitment. And unfortunately, he's having to now bear the responsibility of our poor judgment when we were compiling the squad. But I think he's handled it fantastically well, and him and Manny have done brilliantly under Danny Rohl. And I think it's not just these guys. I think it's Danny Rohl's impact on their mentality, on their attitude, giving them clear, concise instructions. I think that's something that these young guys missed during the last tenureship, during Russell Martin's leadership or lack of. I think Danny Rohl's very pragmatic in his approach. I think he's very clear with the players about what he expects, what his standards are, and what he wants them to do and where they need to be. And I think when you give that clear instruction to people, they rise to the challenge. And you can see that with both these young players.
Right, let's talk about my favourite person, Danny Rohl. Well, I just, I do. I absolutely love him. I do. And I consistently said what a job he's doing, because I thought that this team was, and we all said this team's the poorest squad he will have. And I just love how he's handled himself when he come in. He's put himself with the fans. He's sided with us. He keeps it real. Yesterday's press conference or interview with Sky after it was just absolutely brilliant. 3 points, clean sheet, job done. He gets it. He absolutely gets it. He loves it here. I think he's delighted to be here. I've said that before. It radiates off him. And he's just absolutely tremendous. A really nice guy. Has listened to what we said when he came in. And he's getting it. And it's just 11 wins out of 14 league games. I think we're 7 or 8 clean sheets in that. Now got the best defensive record. And I previously labelled at the last head coach that the team didn't look coached, because we didn't. And I think you can see now that this team, Kenny, looks coached. Danny Rohl, man, honestly, run of fixtures we had Hibs, Hearts, Motherwell, St Mirren, Celtic, Aberdeen home and away, and we get 18 points from that 21. We all said that if we were going to get into the title challenge, we would need a run that would be 18. I actually said 16, 17, because I was hoping for 5 wins, maybe 1 draw, a couple of draws. I thought there would be a defeat in there somewhere, because that's a difficult run with our squad. But he's done absolutely brilliantly to get out of this team what he has. I just think he's great. I think he's absolutely wonderful. He has magnificent hair, and honestly, yep, there's not a minute goes by in the day where I don't sing that wee song to myself. So Danny fucking Rohl, Kenny, he does rule. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah, man, I don't blame you, actually, because I'm beginning to feel exactly the same way. I've been fortunate enough, I've met him a few times, and he's a lovely chap. But to start initially, right, I'll say this right away. He's won 11, drawn 2, lost 1 of his league games. Forget the Europa League. I think that's almost been a side issue for us this season anyway. But if you actually consider that run and his tenure so far in the league, that's championship winning form, and it is. If you were to sit and do that, you would only lose 2 or 3 games all season. So, you know, to get to that situation where you're that consistent while having to take a football to a squad, take a squad of players who were devoid of any confidence, devoid of any cohesive coaching, devoid of any understanding of what they were supposed to be doing, and a number of them out of form. So many of them just here, young lads coming from, with all respect, probably an inferior football club or a football environment, and having to deal with the pressure. And for him to take that and shield those players from that and start to get results. And have we been brilliant every week? No. But I'll tell you what, by the week, you can see, I mentioned it last week on here, you can now see the patterns of play, the style of play, what he wants to do, the amount of times that something very, very simple and something really direct is that the drawing opponents are out, where the ball will go from, say, for talking's sake, Suter to Raskin, and before you've even, or Telewasker, before you've even got your man coming out and anywhere near you, the ball's back and pinged across. These wee triangles are going so quickly that the likes of Aberdeen yesterday and through the week, they couldn't get near the ball. And for me, it's just one of these things that when you actually do an overview and you actually try to encapsulate everything that he's done in 11 weeks, by the way, that's all he's been here is 10 or 11 weeks. And when you consider how he has managed to get a team that was sitting 8th, and we were genuinely sitting thinking we could finish mid-table here, that's how poor we are, and get them into a situation where nobody's got, I don't feel that we should be going overboard about challenging for a title or anything like that. We'll wait and see what happens in this transfer window. That's what I would say, because I genuinely do feel at this moment in time, out of the 3 that are competing for this now, whoever has the best transfer window will probably win this, I actually would suggest. So it's up to Andrew Kavanagh to back our man to the hill and see where it takes us, because one terrific new signing in the door already. We're looking at another 2, 3, 4 perhaps, and we'll see how it goes. But look, I'm a little bit like you. I've got a wee bit of a man crush for Danny Rohl. I think he's just absolutely brilliant, and what a job he's doing, and I can't praise the man enough. He's such a young guy and such an experienced head on his shoulders. He knows exactly what to say. He knows exactly what to do. Even the situation with substitutions that we're all looking at times and giving it, not getting this, don't understand it. I think it's all about time for us to leave it to him, because everybody's getting minutes, and I think that's the kind of great thing about it. He's involving everybody, Stevie, and long may it continue that he keeps getting these results.
Somebody just asked him what I'm getting him for Valentine's Day. What he's getting me for Valentine's Day is 3 points, and he'll get the usual hug off me when I see him. Skooshgate, Nico Raskin squirts water at Spectator. New footage today shows just what I said last night. This fan, and I use that term lightly, went after Nico and the other players, throwing juice and throwing stuff at them. Nico gives him a wee squirt of water. It'll be disgraceful if anything comes of this. No criticism from Raskin from me at all. If you come at our players, you can expect to give it back. And I'll say it again, Aberdeen fans, not players, I beg your pardon, Aberdeen fans pillared our players with all sorts when we scored goals, throwing cups at Miowski, throwing coins, all sorts of stuff. They also found it fit to be singing about Ibrox disaster, Ian Durrant, Walter Smith, Davy Cooper, Jimmy Bale. It was all heard. So I've got absolutely no sympathy for that fan base in the slightest. And so Nico scooshed a wee bit of water on a guy that was going after our players. Suck it up. If you're big enough and old enough to give it out, then don't start greeting when you get it back. And that's as simple as it is for me. Police Scotland investigating it. Given Police Scotland's record, I think we're absolutely safe there, so they'll probably miss it anyway. But for me, there's no criticism of Nico Raskin at all, Amrit. I just think, if football fans are going to go and behave like that and the players give a wee bit back, then good on them. And if you're greeting about it at that age and behaving at that age like that, then suck it up and get on with it. And I hope Rangers robustly defend Nico all the way.
Yeah, I think this is an opportunity now for the powers that be within our club to stand steadfast and true behind Nico Raskin and stand up for what's right, Stevie. Not just for what everybody else expects or to keep the media happy or to grease palms or whatever it may be, but stand up for what's right. And the right thing is that you cannot be an Aberdeen fan and stand in that game, throw coins, water, cups, missiles, whatever you want, sing disgusting songs about Durrant, about Jimmy Bell, God rest him, Walter Smith, God rest him, about these legends, not just of Rangers Football Club, but legends of Scotland in this game. You can't do all of that and swear and shout and scream and give abuse and then moan when we retaliate. They got exactly what they deserve, Stephen, which was a pumping and a wee wash. So, welcome to the men's room. Like, don't act like a petulant child and then greet because somebody's giving you a wee bit back. I'm sorry, it's just not on for me. And I really like that from Nico because it shows that, listen, nobody touched Nico. The water wasn't on Nico. Nico saw what happened and went back and says, listen, if you're going to throw water on my goalkeeper, you can have some because we're all one. And that really sends a message of the unity and cohesion and love between these players, that we stand up for each other. And that's a beautiful thing. And that's something we should be celebrating. It's not something we should be punishing them for. Absolutely not. In any regard. And the club need to recognise that. I'm proud of them. 100% go for it. Okay, on a professional side, you may be able to say, oh, you've got to be a professional. You should rise above it. You should. But these guys are humans at the end of the day. You can't just keep poking the bear and then whine when they bite back. It's not on. And if Police Scotland want to go ahead and launch an investigation and waste more of hard-earned taxpayers' money, then crack on, go for it, do your thing. But I don't think anything should or will come of this. But congratulations, Nico Raskin. Well done, wee man. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 Nico Raskin. Right, Kenny, over to you.
A pumping and a wash statement of the night from Amrit, as usual. Kenny, Jim Gillespie is here as a new CEO, announced formally today. Chris Jack broke that news last week. We did speak about it. Caused a wee bit of debate on the show, which was good. Andrew Kavanagh said, we spoke to an exceptional group of candidates across Scotland and Europe, and Jim consistently stood out for his understanding of what Rangers stands for and his standards this club demands. He impressed us with his ability to lead people, connect with the club and its supporters, and operate at a very high level day to day. Jim is a proven leader, and we are confident he will be an outstanding chief executive for Rangers. Jim himself said, Rangers Football Club is a historic institution, and it's an honour to be asked to contribute to his leadership. I'm thankful to the owners and the board for their confidence, and I look forward to working closely with them, the staff and all associated with Rangers. The focus now is on delivery, rolling up our sleeves, setting clear standards, and ensuring the organisation is aligned behind sustainable success on the pitch. Kenny, we did discuss it last week. Jim Gillespie now formally announced. Where now for Rangers?
Well, welcome aboard. That's first and foremost. That's what you would say. I know he's going to see out his notice at the Kibble first, and he'll be here towards the end of the season. But I'm really looking forward to the situation where we have that stability first and foremost. That's what's required. He knows the game in Scotland. He's been at St Mirren for a few years. So when you consider the fact that he has had his feet under the table, so to speak, at St Mirren, he knows how Scottish football works. I have had my questions about whether he's a political animal. Well, we will find out. The one thing you can say without a shadow of a doubt, he's a terrific CEO. The job he's done at the Kibble is absolutely incredible. And I think he's almost quadrupled the turnover in the time that he's been the CEO there. So he has done one hell of a job. And they're a very active charity in the area. They are very visible. And if he can bring that to Rangers where he can be visible, then long may, let's hope, put it this way, let's hope that he's as political as I want him to be, because I've been saying this for a number of years. I just don't think that we have got the nuances of Scottish football at that level in our psyche. I think Patrick Stewart's a prime example of someone who just doesn't get it. just didn't get anything about the football club, anything about Scottish football. He is from Aberdeen, so that perhaps tells you why. But it's just one of these things that you sit there and you analyse and you think, well, good luck to you. Hope it goes well. I hope in terms of the business, he can grow our business or help to grow our business the way that he has with the Kibble. But more importantly for me, in terms of allowing other folk to do their jobs properly, I hope he's got his finger on the pulse when it comes to things like the political side of the game here, the influence that Rangers can and should have, the authority to turn around and say that when there's a referee's decision or a controversial situation within Scottish football, that he pipes up, because we haven't done that for long enough, Stevie. That's my concern. I said last week, as I said, I wasn't 100% sure if he's going to be that political animal. Having listened to Andrew Kavanagh, having seen what he has said and what Parag Marathi has said, I think they're pretty certain that this is the right guy for it. And I think going by Andrew Kavanagh's comments last week at the Round Table event, I think he knows we need to be much more political. So I'll trust Andrew Kavanagh on this situation where he's hired him, and good luck to Jim Gillespie. And let's hope he's a terrific success.
Thank you, Kenny, for ad-libbing. There was a wee bit of screaming from the living room there. Went through to check on the children, and Duncan has broke his Lego build, which he's currently doing, and was having a meltdown. Managed to smooth that over. Sorry, folks, I had to nip away, but it did allow you to see my picture of me and WWE World Champion Drew McIntyre, which he asked for, by the way. Well, why wouldn't he? He's a big Four Lads fan, after all. Right, let's talk signings. We've made some. Tochi Chukwueze is here, £4 million. Obviously going to be an extremely good signing. Tour Romans looks to be on his way. That deal should be done tomorrow, I'm reliably informed. Around £3 million, Belgian under-21 international left back. It is not done. It is not formalised yet. So anything can happen. Until that really happens, we always have to watch these things. Interesting comments from our old assistant, Asami Sharai. He said he's perfect fit for Rangers, a physically strong player who gives his all, doesn't shy away from challenges and likes to go down the wing a lot. The fans will love him and expect they will come up with a song for him soon. It's just a perfect match. So hopefully that one will be announced tomorrow. It's never done until it's done, so there's that caveat. But excitingly, Rangers have been linked today, or yesterday it was, with Andreas Skov Olsen, which is a long-term target. Right winger, moved to Germany, having played for Club Brugge for 3 seasons. I think he scored 18 goals for Brugge last year. Wolfsburg paid $14 million to get him in the summer, 40 caps for Denmark. Even Gio tried to get him. We were linked with Steven Gerrard as well. Really is an excellent, excellent prospect. Also linked tonight with another one who, let me go and have a look. Yep, a Hungarian, 22-year-old, impressed in Slovakia for DAC Dunajska Streda, Damir Redzic. So he scored 7 goals in 14 league appearances. We're certainly up in the old right winger. Will we get Skov Olsen? The answer is we don't know. But what I can tell you is just what's been reported today, that this interest is absolutely real. Rangers are in discussions. I think this is a real sign of intent, Amrit. This is a kind of deal that's going to cost Rangers a lot of money, potentially a obligation, potentially a move to try and get him permanently on the summer. This boy is a real deal. This boy is exciting. He's not at the best of times in Germany, near did Václav Černý, but this interest is real. This is exciting for Rangers. This is, for me, the kind of signing that we need to go and make, and it's also the kind of signing that will make the difference. I said it last week. I said it last night. I'll continue to say it. Said it on stage on Friday night. Rangers need to create more chances. We need to score more goals. We're doing really well at the moment with the players we have, but it lacks something in the final third. We need creation. We need goal scorers. Andreas Skov Olsen is exciting. If we could get this guy, then yeah, I think it's this kind of signing that everybody stands up and says Rangers are the real deal here.
Listen, Stevie, just on that, I think these are the right moves that we're making now, because Danny Rohl has earned the right to be backed now with the job that he's done up to this point. If the board do not back him, then we're not really investing in him as a man. It's almost like we don't believe in him. He's done the job. He's proven to us that he deserves a backing. So I love the fact that we've gone out there and said that we're going to spend money, Danny, and we're going to back you. That's the right move to make, because that's how you're going to motivate this guy, to show him just how much the club values what he can do. So going out and get Chukwueze, spending that £4 million. Chukwueze can play apparently all across the midfield, the 6, the 8, the 10. He's comfortable doing it all, which is great for us because it gives us that versatility that we need in the middle of the park when people do get injured or we need to do some in-game management, move some pieces around, see what can happen. Someone like Chukwueze is going to give us that flexibility that we need during the course of the game and during the course of the season. He's big, he's strong. This is going to hopefully give us another option now in the box for set pieces. It's not just going to be Fernandez, but you're going to have Fernandez. You've got Chamiti, who's a big lad. You're going to have Chukwueze, who's a big lad. You've got target men now that you can aim for and say, that's the guys that I want you to get the ball to. And then you've got Raskin, who's tiny, but it's got a jump on him like a Clydesdale. You know, he's mad. He gets in there. He's like Air Ronaldo or something when he gets off the ground. So there's lots of options there now. And you can see the signings are starting now to piece together to align with what it is that we're trying to do. I'm really excited about this Olsen prospect because that's a real sign of intent, Stevie, to go after these high quality, respected, regarded players. If we can pull this one off, I think the fans will be absolutely delighted. I personally will be, because it really shows that we have that ambition to go after these big targets. And that's something that we've not seen for a long time in Rangers. And I think it will also give a lot of encouragement to the fan base, to Danny Rohl, to the players that are here. They'll feel that we're bringing in so much quality. They'll want to be part of something potentially really, really great here, Stevie. We're on the cusp now of being able to get reinforcements in such that we could win this league. And I know people don't want to get too excited by it all, but there's only 16 games left, Stevie. There's 11 left till the split. And let's remember, of the 5 teams that we're going to face in the split, we've just pumped 4 of them. We've just pumped 4 of the teams. We've pumped Hibs. Okay, we got beat by Hearts, but we pumped Celtic, we pumped Hibs, we pumped Motherwell. And Aberdeen could be that 5th team because it's only going to be Aberdeen, Falkirk, Dundee United or St Mirren that's going to get that 6th place in the split. We've just beaten them, Stevie. So, and that's with the squad that we've currently got. So can you imagine the impact that some improvements are going to have on this squad? I'm so excited at the prospect of what could happen here in January and the moves we were making, because let's be honest, it's been slow. A lot of people, myself included, where's the signings? Where's the signings? Where are the signings? And now it's moving, and it's moving in a really productive and encouraging way. So I'm delighted, Stevie, as you can tell.
A lot of pumping from Amrit. Well seen, he will fit in well here at 4 lads. Kenny, yep. Compose yourself. Come on now. This is exciting links for Olsen, exciting links for Redzik as well. It finally seems like having sorted the midfield, having sorted the left back with Romans coming in, hopefully tomorrow, we're now turning our attention to the other side of it, which is the creation and the goal scoring, which needs to be the next bit. This is an exciting one for me. Absolutely. We know it's real. Will it happen? We'll just need to wait and see. It's a statement of intent for me that we're actually fishing in this market. I've got to be honest, if we get him, it's going to be really exciting for me. If we can get him, having got a left back and a midfielder, I reckon we're 1 more away. I still think we need somebody to be putting the ball in the net. So could we bring in maybe a 10 or an actual or a forward type player? We'll need to wait and see. But it's almost like they're identifying the same positions we've talked about for a long time. And they were obvious. If they got any of the 11 in a couple of weeks ago, to be honest, then we would have all said they were good signings. So this one for me is an exciting one. Kenny, what's your thoughts?
He's a baller, this guy. He's a tremendous player. You don't get, when Skov Olsen there, you don't get 40 caps for a team like Denmark without being a very, very tidy football player. He's got bags experience. I think he's, 27? I think he's only 27. Is that right? I could be wrong. But bags of experience, and he played at the highest level. He played by a terrific Bruce side last season. I think he was there for three years. We've tried to get him a couple of times, can't get a hold of him. And for me, this is almost like a marquee signing. Back to the old days where you would get a marquee signing. I've seen a few folks say that this is a statement sign, but it's a statement of intent, that's for sure, that we are actually going to fix some of the issues that we have. And there's no better way of showing your intent by bringing in what is effectively a top-tier football player. Now, that would be one of the biggest signings that Rangers have made in a number of years, I would suggest, if you're bringing somebody like Skov Olsen in. I don't really know much else that I can say, Stevie, that both you and Amrit haven't said. When you look at the guy's just quality. I mean, that is the bottom line. This guy has got real, genuine quality about him. He's left-footed, comes in off the right side, causes chaos, and looking at, I was fortunate enough. I've seen Bruges a few times last season. I watched them in the Champions League because they were a terrific side to watch. So I watched, and he's terrific. I mean, he's genuinely a top class player. So I'm very excited by that one. I don't know really how much more I can add, but what I will say is that when you look at the signings that we are making, the boy that we've signed there spoke really well yesterday. Looks a player, instantly looks a player, looks a commanding authority in the middle of the pitch, box to box, addressing the situations that that we are needing addressed. A left back, again, one with bags of experience for a young boy that you look at and you think, if we can get this boy at left back in, you've got cover in most positions now, Stevie. I'm the only thing I would say, I'm still with you. The only thing I would say is that I would be looking to perhaps send Danilo out on loan or whatever and try and bring somebody else in. I don't know if we would be able to cover 4 number 9s in there. But apart from that, and I know I'm upsetting you when I say that, mate, but it is true. I genuinely feel that we need a goal-scoring number 9. So you always put these up when I'm speaking, mate, and I've got to try and not laugh. It's horrible because all I want to do is laugh here. But that's my kind of take on this, mate, that I'm really excited so far at the names that we're being linked with. I mean, it's terrific to see because it's been a long time in coming. So fair play to Andrew Kavanagh for putting his money where his mouth is.
Yeah, somebody asked, is it a real link for Skov Olsen? The answer is yes, it absolutely is. The answer is, the question is, will it be done? We just need to wait and see. Nothing's ever done until it's done. Outgoings, Neil McCann talks to take Finlay Curtis on loan to Kilmarnock until the end of the season. Called it last week. Said that would be a really good move for Finlay Curtis if we can get him. We know that Joe Rothwell's still talking to every club in England, so at some point he will leave also. Other people will be available. I would imagine that there could be moves for quite a few. Clinton and Ciala linked with Motherwell today on loan as Stephen Walsh was called back to Celtic. So I do think there'll be some moves going out. And Ciala to Motherwell would probably be quite a good move for him. And that's one to watch, I suppose. Finlay Curtis, definitely a good move to Kilmarnock. So there's outgoings, there's plenty of rumours, and we'll talk about that more, I think, on Wednesday night show. Going to end this one with a question from a viewer. Alec Miller watches the show regularly, ex-pro, he used to play for Clyde, Queen of the South and Third Lanark. He's in his 80s now. And we met his son Chris at a live show on Friday, and he says that his dad watches on telly but wants to interact. So good evening to you, sir. He wants to know our thoughts on this, Kenny. Why do Rangers not keep 3 players ultimately up the park at corners? He feels that if we did that, we need to keep 4 players back. They would need to keep 4 players back, so it would leave 5 of the opponents against 8 Rangers players. So I could see that. Used to do that back in the olden days as well. I'm of the position, Alec. I think it's a really good point. However, I think that Scott Fry, being as good as he is so far, deserves the right to set them up in a way that he thinks. I like it. It's attacking. It's a bold move. But given their success at corners and things now, Kenny, I think that we should just trust the world's best set-piece coach, Scott Fry, to set them up as he wishes.
Oh, yeah, I'd agree with that. However, it is a brilliant question, and that's why I deliberately put it into the agenda. And when Chris had messaged me, his son had messaged me, He'd actually come over to the table, hadn't he, Amrit? And we were talking away to him. But Chris was a lovely lad. And when he asked me the question and explained that his dad been itching to say this and ask this question, why don't we? I was like, I don't actually know. When you stop and think about it, I don't actually know why you never see it anymore, because you don't. And when I was right up to about 20 years ago, 25 years ago, you would see teams do it sometimes. But nobody does it now. And I don't know if it's just that pragmatism and organisation that's come into football that, and I hate saying that, but there's a negativity about football nowadays where a lot of teams would rather not lose than win, if you like. It's making sure you don't lose so you don't take risks anymore. Whereas I actually happen to think what he's saying, when it comes to the corner kick, if you leave 3 up, they're going to have to leave. Even if they go man for man, the minimum they've got to leave is 3 back, which gives you a 2-man advantage at their corner kick, if you like. So the answer for me personally is I genuinely don't know why you don't see it anymore. But I thought it was a terrific question, and I thought I'd ask you to answer it and Amrit to answer it and not me. So I'm surprised you've asked me to answer it, mate, because I don't know the answer. And I'm being funny, but at the same time, I genuinely don't know why you never see it anymore.
I kind of figured you would talk for like 20 minutes and just explain it for us anyway, which you have, so it's perfect. Folks, let's wrap it up there. Huge thanks to Alec for the questions and everybody that came to the live show on Friday night. If you didn't see it last night, we recently had some 4 Lads hats to give away for Amrit, who donated them, which we organised. We sent out everyone that we had. People have started to get theirs and say they absolutely love them. We donated all that profit, which was £150 after postage and everything else, which Amrit, you chose to go to Strathcarron Hospice. They have received that over the weekend and sent thanks to us. We don't do it for credit. We do it for just for everybody to let them know we did what we said we were going to do. Thank you, mate. As ever, brilliant podcast from you. Jumps like a Clydesdale up amongst there as a pumping and a wash. It's good as usual, Amrit. Thank you, mate, as always.
No, pleasure. Just really happy to be part of the team, Stevie. And I didn't see yesterday's post-match pod, so I'm not sure if they've already made mention of this, but just on behalf of all the members at 4 Lads, Kenny, myself, Chris, who came down on Friday to support you, and everybody else on the podcast that supports you, I just want to extend our congratulations to you, Stevie, on your performance on Friday night. I think you conducted yourself wonderfully. You were great, engaging. It was a great event of bringing together David Herd, yourself, David Edgar. What was David Herd? David Edgar, CJ, and yourself. I thought you handled yourself brilliantly, mate. A great representative for 4 Lads, and you thoroughly deserve all the success that you had on that evening. The place was sold out. Everybody we spoke to could only speak too highly, not just of you, but of 4 Lads, and you're to be congratulated for that, mate. So well done. We're all incredibly proud of you. And just so everybody knows, I'm going to be at Falkirk on Friday supporting Falkirk against Celtic. So let's hope they do us a favour. On the Bairns.
Oh my goodness, I forgot Amrit had a liking for Falkirk, his local team. I appreciate the kind words. 4 Lads is very much a team effort. Nobody is handcuffed here, Kenny, that's for sure. But thank you, mate, for all your efforts as usual. I really appreciate it.
No, my only concern on Friday night was that when I was watching the show and I was watching you, Davey and CJ interact with Big Mark, I thought the 3 of you were going to get smashed to bits over and over and over again, because he was getting quite physical with you, and it was brilliant and very funny, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a terrific show on Friday. But no, I thoroughly enjoyed tonight. It was a good laugh. Good, enjoyed the show, and Amrit is always top entertainment. He's value. You get value for your buck when you're watching 4 Lads when Amrit's on it, so it's terrific. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for having me on, Stevie. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
To everybody that's watched, commented, and joined in the show tonight, thank you very much as always, no, you can't watch the show online. Few people asking, we do not record live shows, thankfully for me, because I got absolutely torn to bits by the boys on stage. So if you missed it, then I'm very, very glad. Thank you, everybody that, as I said, supports the show. If you want to, you can join as a member up there. See how I disguised that by pretending I was scratching. Up there is the QR code if you want to become a member. There's well over 700 members now. You can watch our latest interview with Chris Burke. Have some more interviews lined up, which are coming, which is for members also. So thank you so much for that. Thank you, everybody, for all their support. As usual, thank you to our sponsors, Rhino Express, Clydeview Fire Protection and Joinery, Athol Industrial Solutions, CSD Air Conditioning, Candid, our very own Amrit's ice cream to die for, and the best pick and mix in town. And our Sunday sponsors, Johnny Graham and all the team at Local Dart Shop Online. Johnny will be donating, and we're going to decide what to do with it. Johnny is actually donating over to us a Luke Littler dartboard and cabinet set, along with a set of darts as well. So we're going to give that away to a member. What will we do with it? Johnny suggested we do a raffle, and everyone pitches in a couple of quid for a ticket, and we can give that away to charity. So I don't like doing too much kind of charity stuff and things like that. So if you think that's a good idea, you can let us know. I know how tight it is for people and everything else, and if we're asking for memberships and we're asking for things, I don't want to ask of too much. So I'm a bit reluctant to kind of push too much on people. So we might leave it a bit and then see if we can do another raffle for charity as well, and we'll do that with Johnny's charity of choice as well. So people can let me know how they feel about that one. But a brilliant offer from Johnny and all the team at Local Dart Shop Online. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back on Wednesday night. It's myself, Kenny, and Chris, where we may threaten to be jolly again. Rangers are on a roll, a Danny roll, you might say. It's been a pleasure, everybody. He really is my favourite German, right up there with George Alberts and Stefan Kloss, that's for sure. We'll be back Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. We'll see you all again soon. Thanks for joining us. You really do make it the show that it is. Thousands again watching, and we really appreciate it. Take care. Have a lovely couple of days. We'll see you all again soon. Bye.
The Four Lads podcast is sponsored by Rhino Express, Clydeview Joinery, Athol Industrial Solutions Limited, and CSD Air Conditioning, in partnership with Black Rooster and Art of Gold. Thank you for listening to or watching the podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show.